Welcome to Decoded Stories with the Norcode, where I sit down with tech professionals, creatives, and innovators to decode their stories behind their journeys. You know, like the ones you never get a chance to hear of. I am your host, Nyamiche Honor. My guy, Levi. How you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm good. How about yourself?
Hey, I'm amazing, bro. I'm tired. I was just telling you, like behind the stage. We don't have a stage.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. There you go. I was telling you how I feel like I'm still on dad mode right now. So I have to let that go and get on, game time. But we're here, bro.
For sure.
Good to have you on the podcast, man.
Man, this is amazing, man. I'm excited for this conversation. Let's have fun.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. So, where do I want to start, man? Where do I want to start? Cause I kind of know your story in a way. So I'm trying I need to find a way to frame this, this conversation in a way where it'll be more interesting. I mean, so let's start this way. Let's start with the icebreaker. All right.
Cool.
I'm gonna read this off to you here. So this icebreaker is this here. So if you could work from anywhere in the world for 1 year, where would it be and why?
Are you talking about like country?
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Country, anywhere.
Ooh. So well, this is the first time anyone is going to hear this, but I've always had plans to move to Europe, Germany specifically. So it's probably going to be Germany, location wise, like country wise.
Yeah.
But if we're going to be talking about more of the environments, like the setup, bro, walking from a balcony at a high rise is going to be dope, man. Like,
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you've ever thought about it, but like a high rise on the balcony, like, bro, that's going to be the vibe.
Yeah. Bro, I've thought about high rise from a balcony, but I got kids, bro. I got 3 kids, and I cannot afford for my kids. I can't afford for an accident to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely a risk.
Yeah, and so because of that, I feel like my high rise, dreams is. I don't want to say that is out the window. Anything's possible. You know what I mean? Maybe when they get a little bit older. I don't know. We'll see.
Exactly.
We'll see.
But I just want to say that I am not a remote person. I would rather work in office than work remotely. So if something happens, I know it's weird. A lot of people don't, expect me to say that. But yeah, I prefer to work in person than work remotely.
Why is that, bro? Like you're actually the first person I've heard say this.
I'm an introvert, right? So normally you would expect me to prefer to work from home and not have any social interaction.
Yeah.
But given the kind of career I'm in, right, you need to network, right? You need to know people.
Yeah.
So I don't just want to know someone just by seeing them every morning at a daily stand-up on the screen.
Yeah.
We need to have that. We need to form that kind of personal connection. So I feel like at the stage where I am right now in my career, I need to build as much personal connections as I can, and the best way to do that is actually working in person in an office where you have a manager, you have coworkers you can always walk up to ask questions or whatever you need. I will say when I eventually climb that ladder to the point where I'm a principal engineer or I don't really need that much connection in my life to go to the next stage of my career, then I'll prefer to work from home. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I like I said, you're probably like a unicorn, bro. I've never heard anybody say that. I've heard people say hybrid. You know what I mean? Like they want the best of both worlds, right?
And also, like, I don't think I'll be productive working from home, man. I know myself.
Well, I'll say this.
Yeah.
Working from home is not for everybody.
For sure.
So do you think like do you think that you're like more distracted when you're home, or what's the case?
So I have mild ADHD, so like I need to be in a setting where I'm supposed to work to actually get work done. If I'm at home, I have like a million things to distract me from, doing the actual work.
Yeah.
So I rather go to office, badge in, and I know, okay, I'm here for a reason, right? And get it done, badge out, and go back home.
Yeah.
But I mean, it depends. I would say, like I said, if I get to the point where I don't really need that personal connection, I can manage me being distracted.
Okay.
But if I was stopped there, I would rather just work from home than go in office because I don't need to build that personal connection anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, that's fair, man. To each his own. I think the good thing is, you know yourself and you know what works for you, and you move
Yeah,
accordingly. You know what I mean? So that's dope. That's dope. So you mentioned
sure.
Germany. Why Germany?
Germany, because I don't have any specific reason. Well, one is I love football, and the Bundesliga is one of the leagues I watch
You,
a lot. So,
you love football or soccer? Which one?
oh well, soccer. Actually, let's not get us confused.
No.
Soccer,
I'm with you, bro.
soccer.
Because I'm a African brother, and so it's football.
I
So I'm
can't
with you.
count how
I'm just
many
messing with you.
times I can't count how many times I've told my American friends that, hey, back in Nigeria I played football, and
Yeah.
they were like, they didn't know Nigeria had a football league, and I'm like, not the football you're talking about, like I'm talking about soccer.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I would definitely go to Germany because of the soccer culture for one, and two, it's just a nice place, man. Like just the buildings, the environment is just it's a nice place to live, and
Yeah.
also like I'm trying to learn a second language, and German is at the top of my list. So
Yeah,
either
yeah.
Spanish or German.
Shout out Germany because I have a sister that's from Germany. So shout out. I don't know if I should say their name or not. I don't know, but
If you want to.
you know who you are, sis. Much love. So hold on. You want to learn a second language? I thought you already knew two languages. You're Nigerian, right?
Yeah, so it depends on if you were, well, it's a language. So I know my native language. So
Okay.
I'm from the eastern part of Nigeria, right? So we speak Igbo. So
Okay.
I know my own language, and I know English. So technically I know two languages. But I'm talking about a language that is widely spoken like German or Spanish.
Gotcha.
No one speaks my native language outside from where I'm from.
Yeah.
But German is a language that's widely spoken to an extent,
Of
and
course.
also Spanish.
Yeah, yeah. If I could understand Spanish, bro, like that would be a blessing. That'd be amazing. Cause
I've tried so many times to learn Spanish. It wasn't just working for me, man.
yeah,
It was not working.
yeah. Same here. I never took Spanish class serious in high school, bro. Like the teacher was
No one does, bro.
Bro,
No one takes Spanish
bro.
seriously.
It was so sad. Like growing up and just looking back now, I'm like, wow, like we were not good kids at all. Like this teacher is teaching us, Espanol, and she's Hispanic, so she has a thick accent. She can speak English, but her accent is very thick. And as a kid, you're laughing at her, And the school I went to, it was questionable, man, honestly. And so I flunked the class like twice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I knew I had to pass it to graduate. So I think like the third time around, I was like, all right, bro, you know what? I need to pass this class.
Yeah,
So
we have to lock in.
let me just lock in, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now that's dope. That's dope. So let's do this, man. So anybody though, any guest that comes on the show, on the episode, we do like a little fun segment called This or That. I'm sure you've seen it. So basically, I'm going to give you a set of questions or a set of options, and you just pick this or that. All right?
All right.
Let's get it. You ready?
Yeah, for sure. Let's go.
All right, bro. So this first one's interesting. And I'm gonna let you know now, bro. If you pick the wrong answer, this episode is not airing. I'm shutting everything down.
All right. I'm gonna be careful with my response.
All right, let's go. So Ghanaian jollof or Nigerian jollof?
I already knew this was where you were coming to. Like I could already tell before I even got onto this podcast that he's gonna ask me this question. You already know my answer, so why are you
I
asking?
don't know your answer, bro.
All right, Nigerian jollof, man. It's Nigerian jollof all day.
Hey, stay. Yeah, let's cut it off. It's clip. Let's cut.
You see, let me actually tell you something. I was at an African party, I think
Okay.
sometime last month, right?
Okay.
So it was an African party, so they had a lot of African, dishes. There was Ghanaian jollof and there was Nigerian jollof.
Yeah.
Bro, even your fellow Ghanaians weren't eating the Ghanaian jollof.
This is how I know you lying, bro.
What other confirmation do you need?
You know how I know you're lying? Your left eye is twitching, bro. That's how I know
Nah,
you're
bro,
lying.
my left eye ain't twitching like it's open, bro. What are you saying?
Hey, listen. So let me say this though. So I will say this. I
Yep.
will say this, and this is me being real, right? I think it all depends on who's cooking it, bro. Because this is the thing. I grew up it depends on who's cooking it and what your taste buds is used to, right? I grew up eating jasmine rice. I think you guys use a different kind of rice, right? Mr. Bean or Mr. Uncle Ben
I don't
rice?
even know. Like jollof rice,
You
you can
see,
cook it with any kind of
you see,
rice,
you
bro.
don't
It
even know the
goes
kind of
that
rice.
that
You don't even know
that's
the
what
kind of rice you guys even
that's
use.
what makes it good. Like you can cook it with any kind of rice, and it still comes out perfect. Like I don't know, Ghanaian jollof is always like
Okay.
squishy and like too moist for me.
I see the
Like,
problem. I see the problem. Jollof
bro,
can
you
be
need to.
cooked. Jollof can be cooked with just one rice, bro, which is jasmine rice. Now here's the
Ghanaian
problem.
jollof can only survive with jasmine rice.
Oh, shots
That's the
being
better way to
fired.
phrase it.
Shots being fired. I mean, I think, like I said, I've had. All right, I'll be honest with you, bro. In my whole entire lifespan, bro, I've had one Nigerian jollof, which was
And that is not enough for you to judge. So,
no. I'm saying I've had a lot of Nigerian jollof, but I'm saying that I've had
oh,
only
okay,
one that was edible.
that's a lie.
It's facts. It was
That's
good.
a lie.
The smoky feeling was cool. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna crave this again. You know what I mean? It was like, all right, cool. I tasted it. It's cool. But
I don't know if this is relevant to this podcast, but I'm ready to dive into this. Like, go ahead
oh,
first into
let's
this.
go.
Do you know how to cook Ghanaian jollof?
Of course, I'm a chef,
All
bro.
right, so all right. Well, I believe that, right? So, list out the ingredients you use for Ghanaian jollof.
So now you're trying to steal our ingredients.
Nah, I'm just trying to compare with the Nigerian jollof
Let me-
to tell
let me-
you where you guys are going wrong.
Let me hear yours first, bro, because I have a feeling
Nah,
you're gonna try to
I asked you.
steal
I
some of
asked you
our,
first.
our,
Nah,
our, you know what I mean?
it
So
doesn't
first,
work like that.
first things first, bro. You need your
All right.
jasmine rice. They can only be. It's just jasmine rice. That's it.
All
And
right,
if it's
keep going.
scented jasmine rice, chef's
There's
kiss,
a
bro.
there's scented rice.
Yeah, you can get like a perfumed jasmine rice, bro.
Oh,
Bro,
I've never heard about that one.
it will change your life. All right.
But
So once
what
you do
else?
that, you make your stew, right? So your stew can consist of a lot of different things. Obviously, your tomatoes, your onions, your ginger, your garlic, all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then you had your spices, right? I've seen some people use what do you call it? Curry. I've seen some people use what is this spice called? It's like a brownish. It's kind of like curry, but it's not curry. I forgot the name of it, but that's irrelevant, right? Yeah. So
Okay.
you make your stew. How you make your stew? Then you add if it's goat meat, if it's chicken, if it's whatever kind of meat you want to add to it. You add to it. You cook it. You mix it all together, right? And then well, first of all, you have to boil and season the meat separately from the stew, right? So now once the stew is done cooking, you add your rice to it. You add some water to it. You add your salt to taste, all that stuff. You cover it up. Think about depending on the batch that you're cooking, about 30 minutes, you should be done, right? Now, if you want to go ahead and add, I've seen people do like chicken stock and all that stuff. Like we don't buy chicken stock like from the store. We use the chicken stock or the beef stock from
Okay.
the actual meat that we've steamed. You add
Okay.
that all to. You need all the flavor, bro. All that flavor.
I got you,
cover it
I
in
got
the
you.
rice. You let it sit. You let it marinate. On slow heat. Within
I
like
got
30
you.
minutes, bro, you got some good food. You can fry the meat if you want to fry the meat. You can add it to it, put it on the side. That one is up to the individual.
You see, the way you explained it is very similar, if not exactly the same way
course.
we cook our rice. So I feel like it's just, both sides are just, there's just this beef between both sides that we can't, resolve. So like
Yeah.
to the other person, this person's own is trash, and this person's own is trash.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sounds exactly the same way I would cook Nigerian jollof rice. Like I don't think I would do anything different except from maybe the kind of rice. I don't know why you guys use only jasmine rice, but my mom uses different kind of rice to cook the Nigerian jollof, and it always comes out good.
What kind of rice do you guys typically use? Like on the
I don't
average,
know
what
the
is-
name. I am not a chef, so I don't really
Okay.
know the different kinds of
See,
rice.
see. That's another thing. You're not even a chef, and you're talking about Nigeria.
You don't need to be a chef to know when a food tastes good. Like I feel like
Ooh, that's debatable,
the-
but I feel you.
I feel
I
like
feel you.
a chef will be a good critic for food.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to ask someone if a dish or if a food actually tastes good, you need someone that isn't a chef to actually decide if this tastes good or not. But a chef will always have like the smallest thing to critique about a food.
Yeah.
So.
That's fair. That's fair, bro. That's fair. So I think we're gonna leave this Nigerian and Ghanaian beef here because it's
Yeah, because we can talk about this forever.
yeah, this will never get settled, bro. And I kind of enjoy it. I kind of enjoy the beef. You know what I mean? And then you have Senegal. They come and bring their own. You know,
They,
and it's
they
like,
shouldn't even be part of the conversation,
listen,
in my
bro.
opinion.
But are they not are they the originators of jollof? I believe, right?
Well, that's what I heard. That the Senegalese jollof was actually the original jollof. Then Nigeria
Okay.
came up with their own version. Then Ghanaians did their own thing with it too.
Yeah. Hey, one of these days when I meet you, I'll serve you some Ghanaian jollof. It will change your destiny,
I
bro.
will bring Nigerian jollof too. Then we'll actually do a separate episode about that.
Bet. Let's do it, man. Hey, so I know that you made a YouTube video, and you know you in the video what I took from it was you were trying to find love. Am I? Yes, no.
What video did you watch, bro?
It was a YouTube video where you were like you tried to. You look at me like. It was a YouTube video where you were like you're trying to like I think you were in school and you're trying to not settle down, but you're trying to find love. But it wasn't working. I'm not
I think
tripping.
I know what you're talking about. I think it was when I was talking about my 2024 recap. Yeah, you're not tripping. Yeah, that was when I talked about it. Yeah.
All right, bet. I know. I did some research before coming up, bro. I've done
You
some
did your
digging.
research for sure.
I've done some
Because I
digging.
talked about that at the end, so you probably watched the whole video to find that
Yes,
out.
sir. Yes, sir. But listen though. So this question is a little bit related to that, right? So
Sure, let's go.
find true love or win $10 million.
$10 million.
Ooh.
Don't ask that a second.
You didn't hesitate.
Don't ask that a second time.
Wow. Okay.
You see, my view on relationships have changed a lot. I feel like I'd rather be a single person and be well fulfilled than be married and be average.
Ooh.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Bro, that makes complete sense.
I'd rather be by myself, be single, and be fulfilled to the maximum capacity I can than be with someone, but just be an average person. I mean, it's nice to be fulfilled and have someone, but if I'm given an option, I will go with being fulfilled to the maximum capacity than being with someone.
Listen,
That's
say
just
less.
how I see it.
I feel like that's self-explanatory. Yeah. I feel you, bro. Just make sure you bring me at least $1 million, bro.
I feel like you're not trying to. I feel like you're trying to not say something because your wife watches this episode, right?
Nah, man. No, it's not even that. Like, I feel you. I honestly feel you. My wife. First of all, my wife watches every episode before it even live. It goes live. You know what I mean? But no, I mean, no, I feel you.
I feel like if you say what you're about to say, this episode won't go live.
Really? No. What do you think about? I legit have nothing else to say. But what do you think I have to
All
say?
right, let me ask you the question back. Do you think would you take the $10 million or find true love if you weren't married?
I think if I wasn't married, I would probably take the 10 mil. Because
Exactly.
and that's why I say I feel you, you know what I mean? Because I wouldn't have known what marriage
True love feels like, or
you know what I mean? I wouldn't have known the intricacies of marriage, you know what I mean? Now, if you ask me to like, okay, true love, like, you know, my love of my life is gone and then $10 million, nah, I'm taking my true love. Because we can build 10 million and more together.
Depending on who you choose.
Depending on who you choose. I feel like this has become like a relationship podcast now. No, I love it though. I love it though, man. This is
you brought it up, so I was like, yeah, let's go into it.
Hey, you know, this was supposed to be like a hot, quick take, this or that, and it dived into like a, you know.
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about it. I feel like the whole relationship thing is like,
yeah,
it's crazy, man. This generation, I feel like less people are gonna get married in this generation, man.
Yeah.
The level of marriages are gonna drop pretty soon.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah, that's a whole different topic, man. Man, let's get through this episode, bro. Let's get, because if not,
sure.
we talking about
get it.
weddings and relationships and whatnot. All right, so I got three more fun segment this or that questions for you. So, work at a startup or work at a big corporation?
Ooh, I will work at a startup, bro.
Mm. Why is that?
Yeah, I have every opportunity to grow. Assuming the startup
Yeah.
has a clear vision,
Yeah.
bro, there's countless of opportunities for me to grow. I feel like there's opportunities for you to grow at a big corporation, but your growth kind of relies on someone else leaving the company or someone
Yeah.
else quitting for you to grow, right? But me being at a startup, it's just me, a couple guys with a vision, and we're trying to like build something, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So eventually, if that thing becomes a big thing, there are 10 million different ways for
Mm-hmm.
me to grow within that startup, right? Think about like OpenAI when they were still, I guess they're still a startup, but like when they were still like in their early stages, when it was just Sam Altman and Zuckerberg, because they actually owned it before Zuckerberg left.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was just me, Sam Altman, and just a couple other developers, right, working on OpenAI. Now that
Mm.
OpenAI is a big thing, I could be the CTO. I could be like
Yeah.
anything I want in that company, right? So the opportunity for me to grow is way higher at a startup than a big corporation.
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel that. I think it depends on who you ask. You know what I mean? And honestly, there's no right or wrong answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's not. Yeah,
Yeah, it all depends on what you're rocking with. Because somebody will say that, hey, I want a bigger company because, you have more guidance. You know what I mean? But you can also argue that you have guidance at a small company too. So it all depends.
that's actually a valid argument because if you work at a big corporation, they're kind of like laid down rules already. There are laid down policies you
Mm-hmm.
have to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's already a blueprint down for you to
Yeah.
follow. But at a startup, there is no blueprint. It's just like you're winging everything, right? So that's why there's every possibility for that startup to fail or grow. But assuming that that startup actually does good, you would definitely benefit from
Of
being at a
course.
startup than
Of
a big
course.
corporation.
Of course. Yeah. No, I agree, bro. I agree. So would you rather live in a world without social media or live in a world without music?
Oh,
I feel like I know your answer, by the way.
bro, those two shouldn't be in the same
That's a
category,
tough one.
man. That's a tough
That's a
one.
tough one.
I would say I wouldn't be where I am today without social media for one.
Hmm.
I would say I would live without music, man.
You would live without music?
Yeah, I will live without music.
What?
Um, well, mainly because I would say 90% of what I can do today, or 90% of the person I am today, social media had to do with it, right? Me creating content had to do with it. So, well, I would say at the point in my life right now,
Mm.
I can do without social media,
Okay.
right? But I feel like the person that I want to become, social media would definitely play a huge role in
Yeah.
that. So I would definitely take social media and live without music.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say music.
Why would I keep music, bro? We can make music, bro. I can make music myself.
That's true. What's the question? Live in a world without social media. Yeah, so that means you can't make music if you're living
So
in a
like
world
nothing like
without
music exists.
exist. That's tragic, bro.
I would still live without music, man.
I think and I don't know. I might change my answer like in the next like 5 minutes, but for right now,
I
right-
feel that for real.
but for
I
right now,
actually
bro.
feel that.
Yeah, but for right now, I would live in a world without social media because music has always been a thing. Like music has been here since like
Aren't you like into music or something?
I am.
Yeah, so that's valid why you would pick music.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like music, man, like a world without music, bro. That means you can't tap your head, you can't dance, like you can't. What is social media even without music, bro? Because all the reels and stuff is because of music.
That's valid, but
You know what I mean?
we're talking about it's less about the music but more about the reach you can get with social media.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So social media existed without, being able to add music to reels or being able to, do all that you can do right now with like music on social media. So it's more about the reach than the
Yeah.
music for me.
No, I get you, bro. I get you. Like I said, I might change my answer in the next 5 minutes. So. All right, bro. This is the last one here, and then we can dive deep into who you are and your journey and everything, man. So,
Sure.
yeah, man. So last one here. So, would you travel the world for free, or never have to pay for food ever again?
Oh, bro, I'm gonna travel the world for free, man. That is one. I shouldn't have thought hard about that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna travel the world for free. I've always paid for food, and I've gotten used to paying for food. That it's not really a big deal for me.
Yeah.
But being able to go wherever I want for free, bro, that is
Yeah.
huge, man.
I think the older I've gotten, bro, like I appreciate traveling. Even though I don't travel as much, you know. I think this year is the probably the most I would have traveled like since like forever.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. That's, well, definitely my wife. Like she's going to like 3, 4 different places this year. You know what I
Bro, I
mean?
want to travel so bad,
Yeah.
but it's harder when you're in school. You have things you need to commit to. So
Yeah, yeah. I get it, man. I get it. Hey, let's get into your journey, bro. Let's dive into to Levi, who Levi is. Go ahead and give the people a spiel, like a 2 minute, 1 minute spiel of who you are, man. Um,
I wouldn't use up to 2 minutes for sure.
hey,
Trust me.
go for it, bro. Just go for it, man. The floor is yours, bro.
Yeah. So my name is Levi, as you guys probably already know. I am a software engineering college student at the University of Cincinnati. I am also a content creator, and I create content about tech, software engineering. I do a little bit of careers in tech, and I also create relatable content, day in the life content on social media as well. So those are the two big things you need to know about me. I'm a college student studying software engineering, and I also create content about tech, and I'm also Nigerian, of course.
Shout out, Naja.
For
Shout out,
sure.
Naja. Hey,
Nigeria
so
for life.
yeah. So it's crazy, man. Like when I connect with you on when I connected, I cannot speak right now. When I connected with you on Instagram, bro, on social media, I thought you were a software developer, bro. I thought you were working. I thought because you,
Yeah.
bro,
A lot of people thought that too as
yeah,
well.
like you're killing it, man. The knowledge that you have, right, it's crazy, you know. And so I thought you've been working at least 2, 3 years in the game, you know. And then you told me that you're in school, and I was like, wait, what? Like, how are you in school, and you're able to shoot content, you're able to do vlogs, you're able to educate people, like how? Like how are you able to do all that, bro?
Yeah, bro. I tell people most of the times that everything I know right now, or everything I'm able to do right now, I didn't learn from school, right? So school has nothing to do with whatever I'm teaching on social media or whatever I'm talking about on social media. I mean,
Okay.
it does have some parts when it comes to life experiences, but when it comes to the educational content, college doesn't really play any part in it.
Yeah.
I got into college in 2022, but pre 2022, before 2022, bro, I've already done things, man. Like I have learned things, I have built projects, I have done a lot of things. Like I've already
Yeah.
applied for like full time jobs. I've gotten to like final stages of like software engineering interviews before going into school.
Yeah.
You understand? So like I already had experience, doing stuff as a software engineer, even if I haven't worked in a professional setting. But I have built a lot of projects. I've learned a lot about the software development lifecycle and all that. So that there's no better way to teach than having experience. Experience is the best teacher, they say. So like me being able to experiencing how to build a software, and all my experiences learning how to build a software is what I make content about most.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would
Right.
say like the time I spent before going into college helped me a lot.
Yes, that's interesting, man. So let's do this, bro. Let's take it back, like back. So you're from Nigeria. Were you born in Nigeria?
Yeah, born and raised, bro.
So what brought you what brought you to the States?
Life, man. So a lot of things were changing for my family, and we had to relocate. It wasn't like, it didn't happen like it didn't happen like we didn't plan it. It was planned, but it happened way faster than we ever imagined. Right? It just
Yeah.
came and we left. Right? But yeah, mostly life. Most people thought I came here for school, or school brought me here, or a job brought me here. Nah, it's just life, man. Things
Yeah.
changed and we had to move, basically.
Do you do you remember life in Nigeria, and how old were you here? Like how old were you when you came to the States?
Bro, I've been here for like 3.5, almost 3.5 years. Wait, hold on. 22, 21, 22, 23,
That's
24.
fresh.
3.5, almost 3.5 years.
How old are you, bro?
I'm 22.
You so young. What?
Don't say that, bro. Do not say that.
What?
Yeah, so I came here 2021. I left Nigeria when I was, I think, 18. Yeah. I was
Wow.
about to turn 18
Yeah.
when I left Nigeria. But, like, bro, the Nigerian life is still fresh in my head, man. I can go back today and still do the exact same things I was doing back in Nigeria, like, today.
Yeah.
Like, me and my brother, we always talk about our life back in Nigeria. Like, we miss it, like, so bad, man. Like, there is nothing like being in Nigeria. And I know you feel the same way about Ghana as well.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there is nothing like being in Nigeria. You can go to the most advanced country, but, like, nothing will feel like home.
Yeah.
Nothing
No,
will feel like
facts.
home.
Facts. Just the peace that you can feel, bro. Like I haven't been home
Yeah.
in over a decade, bro. Like legit. It's been a long time.
Wow.
And fun fact. Every time we plan on going back, wifey's pregnant. And so
I see.
is that and man, it's gotten super expensive now, yo. Like
Bro, a flight is like 2,300. I'm
bro,
like,
it's crazy.
damn.
we were supposed to go this year. Let me not say that. Let me not say that because
Yeah, you're probably supposed to say it.
let me yeah, man. But nah, like yeah, flights to Ghana, bro, to Africa period is expensive, man. But it's worth
It is
it.
expensive.
If you have the time, the resources to go visit Africa, man, just go. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, man.
It's
Like
amazing.
once I get the time and I have, the finances for it, bro, I am out of here.
Yeah, yeah. Man, so were you doing any kind of like coding? Were you like learning any kind of like tech in Nigeria? Because obviously, I don't think you learned all this stuff within 3 years. Like, what were you doing in Nigeria, like tech wise?
Well, I actually learned everything I know starting in 2019. So let's take it way back to when I was in high school because that's when everything started, right?
Yeah,
I was in my final year in high school. I think we're on summer break or something, and summer break is usually boring, right? So I don't know. I'm trying to remember exactly how I picked up on this, but I couldn't remember exactly how I found out about HTML and CSS. But all I knew is that I could go into a browser, hit the inspect tab, look at the HTML. I can
Yeah.
change the text on the HTML, and it's going to reflect on the browser. And I was like, this is actually pretty cool. So I did a little bit of research, and I knew it was called HTML and CSS. So I, was looking through W3 schools. I was, using W3 schools to create like simple web pages, just, create a H1, H2, change the color. And I was super excited. All right. So I did that during summer of 2019, because that's when I got done with high school. So I did that summer of 2019. I got done with high school. Then I tried to get into college. I failed the college exam. I wasn't able to go into college because I failed the exam. So I was at home for a year. So the way it works in Nigeria is that you have to take like an SAT exam. In Nigeria, we call it JAMB. So you need to take that exam to get into college. And if you're not able to pass that exam, the next time you can take it is a year from when you took the previous one.
wow.
Right? So I had 1 year, nothing to do. I had no plan for my life. So I went into YouTube and I was searching for tutorials, man. Because I remember that I did something while summer of that year, which was the HTML and CSS, and I actually enjoyed it. So I was like, how about I just, follow up on this, right?
Yeah.
So I watched a couple tutorials. It wasn't clicking at first, but I had all the time in the world. So I was like,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is all I had to do. So I just kept on watching a lot of tutorials. Then I finally found the spark. I was like, yeah, I think I can actually do this. Because when I started doing it and I started to understand how it worked, that was when I knew that I can actually do this. So I looked it up. I found out that was even when I found out there was a career called software engineering or web development or software development, right? So I did that. I learned HTML, CSS throughout 2019. In 2020, we had lockdown, so everything was done for. There was nothing going on. So I picked up on JavaScript. I learned JavaScript. After learning JavaScript, I learned React. I built a couple web pages with React. Then I learned PHP. I
How
used
did
PHP. Yeah.
how did you know like what track path to follow?
I made a lot of mistakes to find out. So I first learned HTML. I learned CSS. Then I learned JavaScript. Right. So I could create an interactive website. Right. So while I was, doing that, I kept hearing about React. Left to me alone, I wouldn't have learned React before PHP. I would have learned PHP before React.
Okay.
Like if I could go back, I would learn PHP before learning React, right? Just because I was hearing a lot of hype about React, I finally took a React tutorial, and I did that for about 3 months. I wasn't really vibing with React that much, so I dropped it. I went to PHP. I learned PHP. I dropped PHP, went back to React. So like I made a lot of mistakes that if I could go back, I'll correct it. I will learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then learn PHP, then learn React.
Then React. Okay.
Right. So going back to the story, I did JavaScript, then I learned React, then I learned PHP. After learning PHP, I was able to build a decent backend application with PHP. I could interact with the database. I could create an API. I could do CRUD operations on an API with an API, right? So I went back to learn React. It took me about 6 months to get comfortable with React, and this was all in 2020, right? It took me about 6 months to get comfortable with React. After learning React, that's when I actually started building projects. I built like 3 projects in a year. Towards the end of 2020. Yeah, man, it was
like full blown
insane.
projects.
Full project, full stack, front end, back end, database, everything. Like it was just the excitement to know that I can actually do this thing, and like I just kept passing through my head, and I was just like picking up on different projects. I built Niger Daily. I built my first portfolio. Then I built like a web store, an e-commerce website with React and PHP as well.
Yeah.
So like after I built those 3 projects, I was like, okay, I'm bored. What next? Like I can already do this, right? Like, so what's next? I learned a little bit of Python. I did a little bit of desktop development with Python. That was something I never continued. I just picked it up because I was bored. It was fun while I did it, but it's not something I can't even, I don't even remember anything I did then. I can't even do it right now.
Yeah.
But after Python, I picked up React Native. I learned how to build mobile apps using React Native just because of my background in React. So once I picked up React Native, bro, I built like 2-3 different projects in 2021 using React Native. So like my process was learn the language and just like spam projects, like just build as many projects as you can, right? So I did that. I learned React Native. I built like React Native was one of the technologies I've learned in the past that I was super excited about. Like I was so glad I could build a mobile app. Like that was what's the word? That was the moment where I felt very fulfilled with myself, right? So I did that. I built project. Then I came here in 2021, of April of 2021. I continued building projects. That was when I built the Cincinnati Times. In 2022, I can't keep track of all the projects I've built, man. But that was when I built the Cincinnati Times with React. That was when I learned Next.js.
Okay.
I used that Cincinnati Times project to learn how to build applications using Next.js. Then I got into school in 2022, and that's how I'm here now. So that's kind of how that's all the learning I've done. And I was hit since I learned Next.js. That was the last tutorial I ever watched, man.
Yeah.
In 2021, like I never watched any of that tutorial. I just kept improving myself by building projects.
Yeah. I think I have a better sense as to why you're so knowledgeable at a young age, because you just built projects, bro.
Bro, I spam build project. Like I was just building projects.
Yeah, like I tell people all the time that like the best way to learn is to just build. Like, I think that's moving from a tutorial, bro. Tutorial hell. We all know about tutorial hell. If you don't know what tutorial hell is, I have you explain it, bro. Explain to them what tutorial hell is.
So tutorial hell is the simple definition is when you're stuck watching a tutorial, thinking you're getting something, but you're not getting anything. Like
Yeah.
you feel fulfilled after you watched a backend C sharp tutorial, but as long as you didn't implement anything from that tutorial is wasted. So tutorial hell is that process of keep continuing to watch tutorials without doing anything with those tutorials. That's
Yeah.
what tutorial hell is.
Yeah, and I think I tell people all the time, like, tutorial hell is real. Like
It
like you
is
said,
real.
I think you mentioned the word fulfilled, and that makes it's hilarious because you feel fulfilled by watching a tutorial, but you never really
Yep.
learned anything.
You,
Like
you did not
you-
learn nothing.
because
Yeah.
how do you learn? You learn by implementing the things you learned. And
And I feel like the moment a lot of developers understand that very tiny piece that you don't learn by watching or you don't
Watching.
learn by attending classes,
Yeah.
you actually learn by building. The moment
Yeah.
you understand that small piece, bro, you're gonna build amazing
Yeah.
things. You're gonna do amazing things.
I think the reason why most people are scared of building, because that's what we do, bro. As software engineers, as web developers, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
engineers, like our job is to build something. You're solving a problem by building something.
Exactly.
And so you can't. I think a lot of times, let me speak for myself, man. When I first started, I was so fulfilled by just watching videos. And the kicker is this: I would just copy what they were doing. So okay, bet you're doing this, I'm gonna just copy it. And I was like, yes, I did it. But it's like, no, you really didn't do it, because if I say, hey, I'm giving you a blank text editor, like start from scratch, I wouldn't even know how
Yeah.
to even start my file. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so
I feel like we
think-
all did that too.
yeah, yeah. I think a lot of times people are just scared, but you have to do it even scared. You have to do it like, and get yourself out of that. Like you have to like. It's kind of like you run like a 100-meter dash, right? And the gun pops off. 3, 2, 1, poof, go. Is it 3, 2, 1? No, ready? On your mark, get set, go. Yeah, and it's like you're so excited to start that you don't even start. Like you're still at like on those blocks. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like it's not until you just go, and then you can make progress and you can see where you are. But I want to ask you, like, have you ever been stuck in tutorial hell? And like, how did you get out of it if you ever were?
Yeah, so back in 2020, when I was learning how to develop apps using PHP, I was stuck in serious tutorial hell. I was watching videos about PHP. I was watching videos about MySQL. I was watching videos about connecting MySQL to connecting PHP to MySQL. I kept on watching these videos, man, but I never built anything with this, bro. Like I will watch a whole 3-hour tutorial about PHP, and I in my inside of me, I would feel like I could build an app, but I never go ahead and build anything, right? So me doing that for so long, I realized that this wasn't helping me because that was when I tried to build my first full stack app, the Niger Daily using PHP.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really do a lot of the things I thought I could do.
Yeah.
So I had to now go back and watch those tutorials, but actually code along and now build Niger Daily after watching those tutorials.
Yeah.
And that's what helped me. And the reason why I don't go back to any tutorial right now is because I have built stuff.
Yeah.
Like I've probably built like more than 10 applications using PHP right now. So like
Yeah.
everything is just muscle memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So like I have built so much that I don't need to watch a tutorial anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So the moment it happened for me was when I realized that I couldn't actually do this thing I thought I could do just because I watched this tutorial. That was when it changed for me, and I was like, okay, I think I actually need to build this thing after I'm done watching this tutorial. So
Yeah.
that's when it changed for me.
Yeah, man, that's tough, man. I think everything you've been doing, man, even from a young age, bro, is like you've been on the right path. I don't know. Like, I guess let me ask you this: did you have any teachers? Did you have anybody like teaching? Because it sounds like you were going through this journey by yourself and just stumbling across the right things, or you'll stumble across the wrong things, and you just brush yourself up and go to the right thing. Like, was anybody like in your corner teaching you like guiding you. And obviously, this is before you even got on social media, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't have anyone per se, but I was on social media not as a content creator. I was more of a
Gotcha.
consumer of a. I was
Okay.
consuming a lot of content, but I was never creating content, right?
Okay.
So back in like 2019, man, I was following a lot of like tech creators like Danny Thompson.
Shout out,
Um,
Danny.
yeah, I was following Krishan.
Shout out, Krishan.
Those were one of the top guys I was following back then. So just basically hearing their story and seeing the way they did things kind of guided me, bro. I can still show you. I've DM'd like Danny Thompson so many times. I've DM'd Krishan on back then it was Twitter, right? I've DM'd Brad Travisy, like just asking questions, but none of them responded to me. So at that point, I knew that I was on my own, right? I made a lot of mistakes, but people don't understand that you're not the first to make a specific mistake. Like you're not the 1st. Millions, well, millions is kind of over exaggerating, but thousands of people have probably made that mistake in the past, right?
Yeah.
Your answer is on the internet somewhere.
Facts.
This generation, I won't say it's this generation. I just feel like some people don't want to make effort to research things, right? They want a blueprint. Like I just want a blueprint that tells me what to do and when to do it. But it's not really that easy, right? So in my case, I did a lot of research, right? I knew what to do and when to do it just because I watched a lot of tech creators. I did a lot of research. I was asking questions. Once I'm done learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, I will look up HTML, CSS, JavaScript tutorials, go to those channels and see what other tutorials they have. Right? And I'll hear about when I heard about React, I didn't just go to learn React just because I heard about it. I
Yeah.
researched React.
Yeah,
I knew
yeah.
it was a web development framework and it's still tied into what I did before and it's kind of like the next step to what I want to do. Right?
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
just went ahead and learned React. So I didn't have a blueprint per se. I was just, winging it most of it and I won't say I was lucky because I did my research and I knew that what I was doing was right, but a lot of my decisions back then was just me winging it, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Man, that's beautiful, bro. So can you talk a little bit about this, man, and then we can move on to like the next segment.
Yeah.
You mentioned something that piqued my interest. So you mentioned shout out Danny Thompson, you reached out to him, shout out Krishan. You mentioned you reached out to a lot of people that you thought could help you, could guide you in the right path, and none of them, reached back out to you. And no shade on them, obviously.
oh yeah,
I'm sure they're busy.
Like now, I
whatever.
understand why they did not respond. Right, me being in their
That's
situation,
that's where
I
I'm
now
getting
understand
to.
why they didn't respond.
Yes. And so hold that thought, man, because I'm actually why you think they didn't respond. But I was getting there. So you responded by, all right, cool. I'm gonna still keep on pursuing what I love. I'm gonna still keep on pursuing this thing, even though I got ghosted or the person who
Yeah.
I thought that they're at this level I'm trying to get to, they didn't reach back out to me. You didn't. What I'm hearing, you didn't give up. You know what I mean?
didn't give up, no.
But a lot of people would be like, all right, cool. Let me just maybe change a career or this field is kept with a lot of gatekeeping and whatnot. But talk to somebody who is in that position that have maybe reached out to somebody and they probably didn't get a response back. Give them like your reason as to why you didn't see you didn't see that as a negative, but use that as a positive to just grow.
See, it's as simple as this. There are just some things you need to figure out yourself. There's some things you need to find out
Yes, sir.
yourself. Right? I'm in a situation now where people reach out to me asking for guidance, asking for help about, career, like what should they do next, this, that. And I mean, I have the opportunity to respond and tell them, hey, do this, do that. But I believe that those are the things you need to figure out yourself. The process of you figuring that out, you're going to learn a lot of things about software development.
And it's beautiful, bro. It's a beautiful
And
process.
and I'm kind of grateful that they did not respond to me and tell me, hey, go do this, go do that, go do that. The process of me researching, okay, I know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. What should I do next? Exposed me to a lot of things. I saw React, I heard about Vue.js, I heard about AngularJS. Like, I knew a lot about the software development process just by me going to do research by myself.
Yeah.
Right? So this is for anyone that, is out there looking for mentorship, looking for guidance, looking for someone to, help you out if you're stuck. I would say try to figure it out yourself. Try your possible best. Like if it means that you have to fail 3, 4, 5 times, like try it out yourself. That is going to teach you a lot of things that you never imagined. Like for real. Because if you think about it, if someone comes now and tell me, oh, once I'm done with college, apply to this specific job. This is the job that will, give you an offer, right? Just by doing that, I've missed out on the opportunity of learning how to, perform during an interview. I don't know what it means like to fail. I don't know what it means like to be grilled during a technical interview, right? Just by someone giving me a blueprint makes me miss out on the learning opportunities behind me trying and failing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So I would say if you reach out to me or if you reach out to Anor, if you reach out to anyone and they don't respond, I mean, sometimes it has to do with me not just having time to respond, or you're not just asking the right question. And that is also something that's also a whole different topic on its own. You need to know how you phrase your question and how you ask your question. You can't just come and meet me and say, hey, I know JavaScript, what should I learn next? Or like, you need to know how to frame your question to get a response. But even if you have a properly framed question, but your question is in regards to what to do next, or if you're stuck with something and you're trying to like make the next decision in your career, I would say we are not the best person to ask. I mean, we can guide you, but this is something you need to search for yourself and figure out, because there are a lot of things you will learn during that process for sure.
Yeah. Bro, I really wish that you guys would, the people watching and listening, you guys will like receive this in love, because this is like legit pure love at its
For
core.
sure, it is.
Because I can place the bet and say that if Danny or if Kashan or whoever Levi reached out to in the beginning had responded to him and gave him XYZ, do this, he probably wouldn't be where he is right now. And honestly, I would make an argument and say that they would be robbing him of him trying to figure things out. They would be robbing him of him trying to grow.
100%.
Bro, you have no idea. I mean, you actually do, because we both are content creators. The amount of DMs that I receive, bro, I don't think that is as just as dumb questions. But some of these questions, bro, is like,
it makes you
what?
question if people, I don't want to put this in a harsh way or any way that, seems offensive. It makes me wonder if some people actually reason out your questions before asking it. Because sometimes, like, you will get some questions where some people ask some questions and the answer is in the question they're asking.
Bro. Or you've already given them the answer
right.
through your response, but they...
Right. And I'm like, you asked me this question. You asked me, okay, all right. Let me just come up with a question. I slide into your DM, right? I slide into your DM, right? And I'm telling you, hey, Annoy, I just learned HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and I looked it up, and they said I should learn React next. Do you think I should learn React?
Hey, yo, I'm crying right now, bro.
Like,
yo, these are legit
help
questions,
me out
bro.
here, bro.
So, what do you want me to tell you?
Like, do you want me to tell you, oh, no, don't learn React. Go learn Python or go learn C++.
No, your research was wrong. Stop researching, bro. But let me save these people a little bit, bro. Because I was that person once. Legit.
We were all that person once. Like, I was
legit,
that person
bro.
too.
But I think it takes a certain level of maturity. Well, one, it has to be called out, right? If you're that person, somebody has to call it out in love and be like, yo, man, you need to figure out a way. For me, that person was my wife. And it wasn't even tech related. It was just life. Like, you're asking a question, but did you even... My wife would be like smiling and laughing right now. But like, did you even try your best. Did you even try to like figure it out for yourself before asking somebody else? You know what I mean? And I think
Yeah.
it took. I always say that coding boot camp like brought out the dog in me that I never knew was there, right? And with it bringing out that dog, it killed like the kid. It killed the puppy in me, and the puppy in me would ask these weird questions where it's like, yo, you can actually figure this thing out for yourself, you know, and and now it's like, man, before I even ask a question, bro, like I have exhausted all like possible like avenues
Yeah.
to find the right answer, and I'm legit stuck. And even in me being stuck, bro, the way I will phrase the question, I
You
will
phrase
make the
it in a way that tells the person that you've
you've
done
done
your
your
research.
research. You've done,
Yeah. It's as
yo,
simple as that. Like,
yo,
just phrase it in a way to tell the person that you've done your research, but you still don't, you still haven't found what you're looking for.
yeah,
And just to, circle back on this, I feel like as humans, our first, course of action or our first option is to, ask for help. Right? If
yeah,
I have a problem, it's as easy as me to, just DM you and ask you, oh, hey, what's up with this? Do you have an answer for me? Than me going to do research about it, right? It takes that person not responding to you or that person denying you that answer for you to actually take action to go research that yourself. So that brings me back to why I do not respond to some kind of DMs. It's not because I'm proud or anything. Like, bro, I have only like 8,000 followers. Like, that's nothing, right? There's some people. There are people who have like hundreds of thousands of
yeah,
DMs
yeah,
to respond. Like
yeah,
the couple of hundred DMs I have to respond is nothing, right? But I choose to ignore some of these DMs so these people will have that motivation to go, research this thing by themselves and
yeah,
not just, hope that some influencer or some tech, I don't like to refer myself as an influencer, that some tech content creator somewhere will answer the question for them. Like,
yeah.
now actually go do some research and see if you can find the answer to your question yourself.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love it, man. I love it. Like I said, I really wish that you guys do receive this in love, man, because it's legit. This is game. This is gems that we're
It
giving,
is, man.
And if you can understand this, it will take your journey far. Even when you get that first job, when you get into the job market, man, like you will have a boss, you will have a team lead, you will have whoever. When you get stuck, you want to present your case in a way that like you're still very much what's the word I'm looking for? Not efficient, but like you're still knowledgeable in what you're doing.
Yeah, knowledgeable, yeah.
You know what I mean? No, that's not the word I'm looking for, but for lack of better
I,
words,
I, I
you know
get
I
what
mean?
you're saying, because if you are this, like if you're at the job and like you're that one person that always comes.
Competence is the word I was looking for.
Yeah, that
Competent.
that, that makes sense. But if
Same
you're
thing.
if you're at a job and you're the one guy that always comes with a question, like those, I won't call them dumb question, because in reality no question is actually dumb unless you purposefully asking stupid questions. But but if you're that one person that comes with a question, even like something that your manager expects you to know, you're always coming to them with questions like that, they will see you as not being competent for that job. And
Yeah,
when it
yeah.
comes time for end of the year review, it's gonna backfire on you,
Of course. Of course.
right? So like, try and this is the best time to train yourself on this. Try and exhaust all your options to find your answer
Yeah.
before you go ask someone,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because even at your job, it's gonna help you. Because if you spend exhaust all your options and you eventually find an answer, there is no way you will tell me you didn't learn one or two things while you were searching for your answer. But if your first course of action is to just go ask your manager or go ask your lead, when it comes time for end of the year review, they'll be like, "Hey, this guy has been asking a lot of
Yeah.
questions. We expect him to know. He's probably not competent for this job, so he better be out.
Click
Like,
on.
he's
Yeah.
gone,
Yeah.
right? So like, it's gonna backfire on you if you actually have a job in tech.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
And it takes time. It takes time. Like you said, we've all been there. So there's some. I'll be honest. There's some times where I catch myself back in that same position. And I have to like, oh wait a
Yeah.
second. Did I even try to like figure this thing out before bothering this person? So yeah. Long story short, like help yourself. Help yourself. People want to help you, but they want to help you when they've known that you've done the research. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So man, let's talk about some content creation, bro. So okay.
Yeah.
So you've basically been killing it since you were in Nigeria with building stuff. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
come over here. You were in Nigeria and you were consuming content. I mean, you come over
A lot
here,
of it.
a lot of it. Yeah, same here, man. I've done my share, and I still do. um, what made you want to like join the pool, bro? What made you want to like say, hey, I'm about to, I'm gonna join the team, the content creation team, and also, give my knowledge. What made you wanna do that?
Yeah, man. So when I was back in, Nigeria, like I said, I consumed a lot of content, both the ones that were good for me and the ones that weren't, exactly good for me. But I still felt deprived of some kind of knowledge that I needed to, make some decisions.
Yeah.
You understand me? So me wanting to create content creation, me wanting to do content creation was mainly because of that. Like I wanted to be, that person I was looking for when I was, still learning, right? I wanted to be that person that, I always wanted to go to look at their, Instagram page, watch their videos to, learn what I need to know. So that was my main drive to being a content creator. I wanted to create content that inspire people and motivate people to do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right. Inspiration and motivation is at the top of my list before actually teaching you anything. Like if you look at most of my content,
Nice.
most of my content are geared towards inspiring and motivating people. Well, if you look at my earlier content when I started content creation, it was more relatable content to inspire and motivate people before I started doing, educational content, explaining, the things I've been explaining on my, short form content. So yeah, that was my major drive to inspire and motivate people. Those were the two things that made me go into content creation.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're doing just that?
I would say, yeah, for sure. I would say, like, I know for sure that I've made a good amount of impact to people. You know, we were just talking about the, annoying DMs we get, but I would say I do get a lot of, I do get more, positive DMs than negative DMs.
For sure,
People
for
telling me
sure.
that I've helped them, or they do enjoy my content, my content inspire and motivate them. So like those DMs are actually low key what keeps me going, man.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
doing something, knowing that what you're doing is actually reaching people and people are actually consuming it in the right manner. Yeah, man, that's what drives me. So
Yeah.
I believe for sure that I'm actually doing that.
Yeah. What's your like biggest struggles, man, of creating content? Because obviously you're still in school, you know, you're still paving your own way, right? And I'm pretty sure it gets to a time where you're like, man, I'm tired. I'm tired of helping people. Let me just focus myself. Like, well,
That
one,
that feeling.
does that happen?
Yeah, man, that feeling is so real that people who watch your content don't really understand. I will call it burnout.
Burnout,
That's
yeah,
that's
yeah,
you can get burnout very easily doing this. That's why you see me sometimes. I just take unannounced breaks. You never hear from me for like a month. I will never post anything for like a month. Like, bro, I'm just chilling because it gets to a point where you get burnt out. You don't have the motivation to create content anymore. You also don't have the time because most of the time I've been creating content. I always had a full-time job. I always had school. So doing all that together when you also have other responsibilities can get very overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah.
So having that feeling of always helping people and getting tired of helping people is so real, man.
Yeah.
But you also need to understand why you started this in the first place.
Yeah. That part right there. Legit.
Yeah, you need to
Yeah.
understand why you started it in the first place. I didn't start it because I wanted to be popular. I wanted to be the next prime agent or the next big person in tech. Nah. I started this because I actually genuinely wanted to help people because I wanted to be that person I was looking for when I was learning how to code.
Yeah, yeah. I love that, man. So somebody's probably watching this right now or listening, and they're like, okay, I would love to get into like content creation. I would love to content creation specifically in the tech space. What advice would you give to that person?
I would say, bro, just start, man. Like, and I know the biggest barrier to people starting into content creation, especially tech, is what to talk about.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the gear or the cameras or the lights or anything. Like, bro, I started with my iPhone 14 Pro Max, man. This is what I started with.
Same here.
Actually, like the week after I bought this phone was when I started content creation. Like, You can start with your phone, so the gear isn't the problem. The majority of the problem is in what am I going to talk about.
Yeah.
And this is what I'll tell people. You've built projects, right? That's what you should talk about. Right? Start from there. Like, tell me about the project you built. Tell me about the problems you faced while you were building this project. Tell me about the logic behind the project. Like,
Yeah.
tell me what happens when a user clicks this button in your project. You know, there are there are a thousand things you can talk about. You know, when you focus on your project, right? And from there, you kind of like, you know, get exposed to other things you can, you know, talk about in your videos. So I would say just start, and if what to talk about is your problem, definitely start talking about your project. And I would say be very careful to not be a tech influencer. You know, it's very easy to be a tech influencer over being a tech content creator. You creating content, you're either, you know, educating people, inspiring people, or motivating people. It's
Yeah.
one of those things, right? There's a huge difference between being a tech influencer and being a tech content creator. Your tech influencers are those guys you see on TikTok telling you, "Oh, welcome to a day in the life of my $300,000 software engineering job." Those are tech influencers, right? If you're talking about tech content creators, you're talking about people like myself, you, Omar Codes, Dillion, Prime Agent. Those are people that you go to their page and you don't have to scroll past 3 or 4 times and you've learned something.
Yeah.
Those are content creators. Influencers are those people that tell you about the fancy life of being a software engineer, you know, what it's like working in an office, what it's like doing this, what it's like earning $300,000. Those are influencers. Be very careful not to be that kind of person. There's nothing wrong with them. Like, kudos to them with what they're doing, right? I would say if your goal is to, you know, create content, you can do that if you want to, but if your goal is to help people, you need to be a content creator. You need to, you know, share your knowledge, right? You know,
Yeah.
tech influencers are focused on the lifestyle, while content creators are actually focused on the job and what it means to be a software engineer. Those are two different things, and people should be very careful about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that, bro. That's soaking in right now. I like that.
Yeah, and I would say I've kind of slipped away during my journey of being a tech.
We all have.
Being a tech content creator, because when it's tough, man. I've really never openly said this, but whenever you have brands reaching out to you to do, you know, collaborations, you know, talk about this, talk about that, you kind of slip away from the reason you actually started doing this in the first place, because doing that, you're slowly moving into the tech influencer, you know, part of being a creator.
Yeah.
Right? They always want you to, you know, talk about this, talk about that, you know, put their product or put their, you know, whatever they're marketing in this big bright light, you know, and that doesn't really help my audience, right? They're not really learning anything, right?
Yeah.
So I would say it's very easy to diverge from why you actually started in the first place. You just have to be focused and know the reason why you started.
Yeah. No, it's tough, bro, because like you said, we've all some way form or another like dipped our toes in the wrong pool, you know? And
Yeah.
it's like, wait a second, did I? Because the thing is, if you started your page to influence, to be a tech influencer, go for it. If you started to be a tech creator, go, like, stick to your why. You know what I mean?
Stick to your why is the
know,
thing.
yeah, like regardless of wherever, if you're on A or B, you will have things that will come that will entice you to stray away from the main goal. You know, but let me be transparent, and like I'll share this with you guys. I started my page, my Instagram page on Narcode, to document my journey. I was in boot camp then, and I was in coding boot camp, and I was like, hey, you know what? Let me start documenting my journey, and you know, in X amount of years or months, I'll see how far I've come. And also, I wanted to find community. I wanted to find other people who were doing this thing, the same thing I was doing. You know, because I've learned how to code for years on my own, and I fall off some way somehow. And so that was the two main reasons. Now, along the journey, different things will come. Like you said, brand deals will come. And let me say this, some brand deals are amazing, but here's the transparency moment here. I found myself in a season where I was just trying to do things just for the brand deals. I was
Yeah.
I was doing certain things where it's like, man, I didn't even have brand deals and I was promoting other brand stuff. Like they didn't even reach out to me. I was like, bet, you know what? I like this thing, I'm gonna promote it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that wasn't my reason for starting the page. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
now you go through a whole rabbit hole of confusing your followers. You go through a whole rabbit hole of confusing the people who follow you for a specific reason, which that reason is the reason why you started the page in the first place. You know what I mean? And so I
Yeah.
think what you said, man, it resonates so much. And yo, like what we're saying here, yo, we're not like talking to y'all. We're talking to ourselves too. Like we all go through this thing, and I think it's just a reminder for all of us. Like no matter how high or low you are, to just stay the course. Yo, this is your journey. You know what I mean? Like this is your journey, and so your why. Make sure that you stick to your why. You know,
Yeah.
and
It's
when
hard, but it's worth it.
yeah, and when brand deals come your way, like you're saying, it will be worth it. And if it's aligned to what your goal is, bro, it will be so worth it. I have this deal where, bro, they reached out to me and they were like, yo, like whatever you're doing, keep on doing it, but I want you to do it for us. And I'm not gonna share all the specifics because I don't think I can, but like I'm teaching people, I'm helping people, like I'm helping people get into the field. I am bringing awareness to the field. I am bringing awareness to what you can and what you can't do. You know, and it's a beautiful thing, bro. It's a beautiful
It is,
thing.
man.
You know, it's a beautiful thing, bro. Let's get into your college journey real quick. Um, so you're in college, man. Like I said, I didn't know you were in college until a couple months ago, and I was
Yep.
shocked. I was shook, and I was like, this guy, like, you're basically a senior developer, man, and you're in college. Like what? So talk to me about that, man. Like, why are you in college? Not why are you in college. That sounds so wrong. Why are you in college?
That's actually a valid question. That is
Yo, you know,
so.
hold on, wait. I take that back. You're right. That is a valid question because I feel
That
like,
is
bro,
such a valid
I feel
question.
like you can work for a big corporation right now, bro. So why are you in college, man?
I would
And,
say that I
no,
would.
let me
Yeah,
let
go
me say
ahead.
this. Let me clarify. I am not dogging college. College is a great thing. Go to college if you can afford it. You know what I mean? But yeah, why are you in college, bro?
So I would say it. I don't. I would say it has to do with like whatever I know. It's more about why why am I paying how much I'm paying right now to be in college, right? Is it worth it? No. If I had an option to not be in college, will I take it? 1,000% yes, right? If you think about it, man, you can't get a job in this current job market without a college degree. Like, your resume is just gonna sink to the bottom, man. Like, you need a college degree to even be considered for an interview or considered for a phone screening for most jobs, not all jobs, for most jobs, right? So my huge why, my huge reason why I'm in college is, bro, to get that piece of paper, man. That
Yeah.
paper that tells you spent 5 years in college and you were taught this. That doesn't necessarily mean I learned anything in college, right? That doesn't mean I'm qualified to do the job. It just means attended, I went to a location for 5 years and I came out with a degree,
Yeah.
right? So it doesn't necessarily mean I have the skills and the qualifications. Well, I do have the qualifications, but that doesn't necessarily mean I have the skills to do the actual job. My biggest reason for me currently being in college is to, have that credibility. It's not necessarily because of what I have, what there is to learn in college. It's more about the credibility and not, the knowledge that there is to gain. And this brings me back to every single thing I've been saying on social media, man, especially threads, man. I've been active on threads lately,
You've
and
been asking some hot questions on threads, bro.
bro, I've been
Hot
talking my shit on
questions.
threads,
Nah, I
man. Like,
love it. I
I
love
don't
it.
care, man. Like,
Yeah.
I've just been talking my shit on
Yeah.
threads. The college curriculum for CS grads is shit, man. It's horrible. Like, the college curriculum needs to be more practical focused than theory based. It's supposed to be more practical based than theory based, right? I don't need to learn how to build a software. I need to build a software to
Yeah.
learn how to build a software, right? I don't need to attend a 3 hour class a week to for you to show me, or for you to explain how software is being built.
Right.
I need to actually spend 3 hours a week, or if not even more, to actually be hands on building the software to understand how it works.
Right.
And that is what the CS curriculum is missing. So yeah, that's my biggest reason why. That's my biggest reason why I'm in college just to get my credentials, get that credibility, and hopefully, be qualified for a job.
Yeah. You posted something on Threads, right? And you were like, I thought it was so funny. You said, even the college professors themselves, some of them are not even qualified to even teach.
Nah, they're
And they
not,
said,
bro.
my guy is coming for blood.
Like, they're
Like,
not. Like,
what made you say that,
and
bro? Like, what made you? Have you had any experiences?
so I don't want to shit on my school or anything. My school is great. Like,
Yeah.
we're one of the best schools in the Midwest. It's not my school. Just it's common sense. If you think about it, man, if every CS professor in every college were qualified to teach CS, do you think there will be the problem where CS grads don't know what they need to know to get a job? It's just like, going through medical school and, being in the field and you don't know how to diagnose an issue, or you don't know how to, perform a specific kind of operation, but you've
Yeah.
you've gone through medical school.
Yeah.
Doctors who go through medical school that, can diagnose, health problems, can, do some certain operations, is because they had qualified professors that taught them how to do those things.
Exactly.
If CS had qualified professors, CS grads that are done with college will know everything they need to know to actually get a job.
Yeah,
Not just
yeah.
get a job. Anyone can get a job, but know enough you need to know to actually do your job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I can throw you into a project and tell you, hey, build this thing out and deploy it and make sure, it's efficient and it works this certain way. And you should know how to do that if you spent 5 years in college learning how to do that.
Of course.
Right? So we blame ourselves most times, or we blame the college grads that, they don't pay attention in class, or it's just this generation. But it's not really this generation. If you actually want to go to the root of the problem, it's actually the professors, bro.
Wow.
Most of them are not qualified to actually teach.
Wow.
And it's just so true.
Wow. But that's
Because
a bold
if-
statement.
I feel like the CS curriculum, I won't say the curriculum, I will say the quality of the quality of students in CS will improve if most CS professors were Gen Zs. Like, imagine if both of us taught in college,
Wow.
taught a CS class, or if someone like Prime Agent taught a college class, or someone like Uma Codes taught a college class. Don't you think
That hit
that
home, yeah.
don't you think the graduates from that class will actually be more knowledgeable than, a grad from even MIT or Harvard or any, top university out there? It's just the quality of the professors aren't there, man. It's just the professors, man.
Bro, that's wow.
I know most people don't think about it because we're very quick to blame ourselves for not, learning anything out of college. But if our professors were actually doing their job to actually teach us what we need to know,
Out the
we're gonna
gate.
come out job ready,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
I-
And like just like my example with medicine, like the professors actually taught them what they need to be to be ready on the job.
Yeah.
You will never meet a doctor in an OR that doesn't know what they're doing.
Facts.
Right? They've spent 5 years, if not more, in school learning these things because their professor were qualified enough to teach them. It's just so unfortunate that CS professors aren't like they're not up to par
Wow.
with the recent changes in tech, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Wow. Wow. All I can say is wow. Because it's one of those things where you know, but it's not until you like somebody has the balls like you to say it, and you're like, oh wow, like you're speaking facts, bro.
It's so true, man.
How do you think? How do you think that we can take, or people who are in college can take their destinies into their own hands? Like, if you're not getting the quality of professors, what can you do? I mean, I would recommend you build projects outside, because bro, like, you want to become a front end or back end developer or full stack developer. They're not. I don't know any schools that's teaching how to become a front end developer or a back end developer.
I will
Like,
say this. I'll actually say this now. Like, let me look at the camera while I'm saying this. Listen to me. If you're going to college to learn how to build software, like you have no knowledge. You have no knowledge about software engineering. You have no knowledge about building software, and you're going to college to learn how to build software. You're just wasting your money. Like, you're not just wasting your time alone, but you're wasting your cash. That thing is a scam. Like, college in general is not a scam, right? But you telling me you're going to college to pay thousands of dollars for 5 years for you to learn how to build software is
It's not
a huge
possible. That
it's a
doesn't.
huge financial mistake you're making.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
it's I am doing it, right? So people think, oh, why am I saying this? And I'm in college. Like I said, my main reason for me being in college is to get my degree and be credible to get a job,
Yeah.
right? But college didn't teach me how to build software, man. College didn't teach me anything about developing a backend application or making an application scalable. College didn't teach me that. College didn't teach me about API load balancing or API gateways and none of that. Like college will not teach you how to, college won't show you how to balance an API endpoint or how to balance a server or how to implement an API gateway in a microservice environment. College won't teach you that. It's just something you have to go learn by yourself.
Yo, so what is college teaching you then? Because obviously there's a need for college. We both agree, right?
College teaches you enough to get curious, right? They just teach you enough to want to learn more. But is it really worth paying thousands of dollars just to be curious about something? That is the problem. Like, would I go pay a college tens of thousands of dollars for 5 years just for me to get that motivation to go learn something outside of college?
Bro, you can be curious on YouTube. You know what I mean?
I tell people this: give me 20 minutes. I'm going to build out a whole CS curriculum of YouTube videos for you. Just give me 20 minutes. I will go on YouTube and I'll build out a whole CS curriculum for you. Like, it's not worth paying that thousands of dollars to learn how to code, man. I would say if you absolutely need the degree, which is so unfortunate that we do in this current job market, you need to have the degree and you can afford it, then go ahead, go to college, get a degree. And also, let's not even forget the college experience, man. You can only experience that once.
Yeah.
So, like, everyone deserves that experience. So if you have the money, I would say definitely, go experience college for yourself.
Yeah.
But do not go to college expecting to be job ready after 5 years to be a software engineer. It's not just possible. Please don't do it. Like, that's a huge financial mistake.
Wow.
Take it from me that I'm currently third year in, and it took me 2 years of me being in college to understand this. I was always hoping that, my first year, I was like, okay, maybe I will learn something in my second year. My second year, I was like, okay, maybe my third year, when I go to the main campus, I'll probably learn something. Bro, I'm currently in my third year, and nada, bro. Nothing. Nothing.
Wow.
It's unfortunate. And again, I will blame it on the curriculum and the professors, man.
Let me do this, man. I'm somebody who I see a problem, and yes, like we've mentioned the problem, but let's also try to find solutions, right? I think what I think, and I want to hear your idea on this too, right? I think that for anyone who's in college, here's how you can combat what's going on in college, since they're not teaching you practical things. Or I mean, hey, if somebody's out here listening or watching this episode, and if your college is actually teaching you the practical things, please DM me or put it in the comment section.
Please let me know too.
Yeah,
I would love to know, because
I would
love to know how your curriculum is structured, and I would highly recommend every college to follow the exact curriculum.
Yeah.
Because I mean, curriculums are very different from colleges to colleges, but they're very similar as well.
For sure. But like, if you're that unicorn and you're getting the bulk of the meat, like you're getting what you're supposed to be getting from college to be job ready in regards to software engineering, that field, please let us know, because I'm highly curious. But for the people who are not getting that, here's one way you can combat that: build projects outside of class. YouTube University, Udemy. Find different ways. If you can if you can afford a college, you can afford a boot camp. Go to a boot camp. Like, people don't understand that, like, my boot camp taught me so much practical stuff, bro.
I would rather you go to a boot camp and spend that money than spend it in a college.
Yeah.
Like,
and
100%.
hear us. This is not saying that college is a bad thing. Obviously, Levi's in college. College is not a bad thing. You need paper, and it's just a man. I feel like this topic can be like talked about for like hours, bro.
Bro, we can go on and on,
like for
bro.
hours,
if you go
man.
on my,
There's so much.
If you go on my threads, like, the thread is so long. People, people who relate to what I'm saying and people who also do not agree. So this is a conversation that can go on for hours, man.
Yeah, bro. Let's
Yeah, let's stop it here, man, because if not, we're gonna go for hours.
Oh yeah.
Let me close up. Let me ask you a couple more questions, then we can close up, man. So,
Yeah.
how are you able to like stay sane, bro? Like you're in college, you're doing tech creation. You're so busy, bro. What do you do to like keep yourself sane? Like, what do you do for fun? What do you do like outside of like coding to like just get back to like center?
Yeah, I would say I set my priorities straight. I feel like that's a two-part question. But to answer the first part, I set my priorities straight. Of course, I'm paying so much to be in college. I better focus and lock in and actually get what I'm paying for. So definitely college is my top priority. Then content creation and also following my hobbies. And regarding what I do for fun, bro, I do content creation for fun, man. Like creating content is fun to me. I do filmmaking. I've been into filmmaking for a couple of months, going close to a year now. I also do photography, man. I just like, I don't know if you've been seeing my stories. Like
Yeah, I
on a
see it, bro.
random weekend, I just like go out and just go
Yeah, I
shoot
see it.
content, create videos, take
Yeah.
pictures. So like that's what I love to do for fun. And bro, I also love binge watching Netflix, man. Like
Hey.
I can spend both weekends just
Yeah.
on my couch watching Netflix like all day long, bro.
Yeah.
So those are the things that keep me sane. I try not to focus so much on my problems, getting a job, getting an internship, or trying to pass this class, or anything that that would typically bug someone in college. I try not to focus on that. I try to like enjoy life,
Yeah.
because if you think about it, there's life after tech, man. Like
Mm.
you need to, if your only life is in tech, you're doing something horribly wrong.
Mm.
Like you should have a life outside of college, or a life outside of tech,
That's not tech.
because after tech you're gonna retire, man. Like what are you gonna retire to? Like that's why most
Yeah.
retired people can't retire, because they don't have a life outside of their job.
Facts.
Like people don't have a life outside of their job, so try
Yeah.
and create a life outside of your job, because the way the tech job market is going, like you never know when you're gonna get fired or when something is gonna happen,
Mhm.
and you need to fall back to something that can keep you emotionally sane.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do have a lot of things that I have going for myself outside of tech, that I if eventually, or not eventually, God forbid, nothing will happen eventually, but if something does happen, I have something to fall back to.
Yeah. Yeah. Bro, appreciate you for coming on this podcast, man. It's been real. Where can people find you, man? On social media.
Instagram is levi.dev _, same thing across every social media that exists. It's levi.dev _.
Bro, thanks again, man. Appreciate you for coming on the podcast.
Yeah,
It's an
man.
honor.
I really appreciate what you're doing too, because you've been super consistent with this podcast, and I've watched a couple of your other episodes, and bro, it's amazing what you're doing, man. Like, keep it going. Like,
Bro,
a lot of
appreciate
people
you.
have a lot to learn from this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, we out. Another episode's in the books. It's crazy. Another
Yep.
episode's in the books. We out.
Peace.